Before this video starts, I just want to quickly show off how much progress the guy made whose game I reviewed here. He went from Platinum 4 to Platinum 1 in 3 days and seems to carry all of his games. With that, enjoy the video. Hello guys, today I'll be taking a look at one of my viewers' games. This one's gonna be a little bit different to how I've done it in the past, because since this player is from OS, we had a difficult time finding a slot where we could do it together, so I will just review the game and then upload it to YouTube so he can take a look at it. And this is something I've been thinking I could be doing more frequently. If you're also someone that maybe doesn't have a lot of time, but you would still like your game to be reviewed, then that's definitely something you can just request me to do. So yeah, just send me a message on Discord if that's something you're interested in. This game for sure, this one was some game he wanted me to take a look at because he thought he should have been able to carry it, and the stats definitely show that, right? The Warwick, of course. I don't know if he was actually running it down or what happened here, but yeah, definitely we'll definitely see that there are for sure ways he could have won the game, but yeah, let's see if there's something in the build-up that maybe could have made the difference, or if it's just in the late game him being picked off and that having a massive impact. I mean, that's usually how it is. But maybe you can also win the games before that. Also, if you're wondering why there's emotes on the stream, yeah, or on the screen, it's because I'm also live streaming this. But I'm not gonna interact a lot with the chat. Alright, let's see. So the setup he's running is the one that I always recommend at the moment. And he's going for Blue Smite this game. I think Blue Smite, for sure, a sensible choice in general. I think it's never bad on Ekko. I personally would have went for Red Smite here, since he doesn't have a lot of CC in his team, right? Most of the CC is disengaged from Janna, and then, I don't know, the Warwick and Yon CC is simply not that great. And it really helps against these kind of champs being able to fight them. I don't know what these kind of pings are. Yeah, I don't know, with this team I really would not be looking to fight level 1 too much. I mean, their level 1 is not super strong either, but yeah, I don't know. I guess Yorick is playing without Flash, so maybe you can catch him if he's AFK, but in general, I don't like fighting level 1 with Ekko. I think it's super unnecessary. Ekko is such a good scaling champ. Fighting level 1, there's really no point, and it can backfire so easily and just lose your game for no reason or make it super difficult. Okay, so you're just clearing here. Good. That's exactly how I need to do it. Let's see how much gold you have at the end here. Yeah, so that was a really good clear. Yeah, don't even... Okay, wait, did he E over? I guess you saw his flag. Interesting that this guy even went for that. This is why the Raptor's path is so good, because low elo idiot junglers will invade you like this and just waste a huge amount of time. Well, interesting. Could have honestly even punished him. Like, he was level 2, you were level 3, you're basically full HP. I mean, yeah, I don't know. And the Warwick was kind of around even. I think going to blue first here is a mistake. Like, what I usually do in this situation is just to Grump, blue, and then go to Crab, because Crab will be spawning right when you're done with it, and you'll get level 4 from it. Like, I just skip the wolves. And then usually afterwards you just look to have an impact somewhere, let's say bot or mid, and then either you do something successfully, or you just go back and clear your wolves, and by that time the Raptors and wolves Crocs will also be up. So yeah, this is a small mistake. It's not a big mistake here, since the Dwarven is on the other side of the map anyway, so the Crab is uncontested. But if it's contested, then you need to be there right away. Okay, yeah, definitely. I think here, before doing Crab, definitely go mid. You might be able to do something to this guy with Flash. Especially because he wants to get the wave in. You definitely need to be here. Like, what are you doing? Okay. You're a little bit slow here. I think if you just decided to go there right away, I don't know if in-game you didn't really look there or what exactly happened, or if you just felt like you shouldn't go there, but definitely could have had impact there. You're really strong here, right? You're level 4, you have the Dark Seal. This guy completely griefed, he's still level 3, he hasn't even been base yet. So you're in a much stronger position there to fight that, and the Lux was of course on 1 HP without exhaust. But yeah, so far game's still going fine. Definitely have a tempo advantage over Jordan. On top, not really gankable. This guy's under his tower with full HP. How much gold do you have here? That's a solid base. I would just base here. There's nothing else to do. I found out that Alternator is actually better, even for jungle clearing. So if you can afford it, you should always buy it over the Blasting Wand. That's something I've learned. But if you can buy the Blasting Wand, it's still a solid buy, for sure. And there was really... Like, there was nothing... There was not even anything to force because Warwick was base and, yeah, you were just top. So the only sensible place to recall. Okay, I think doing this track's definitely not legal with his waves. I mean, it's... Okay, I guess it's kind of legal, but Jordan is of course around. And you're not that strong, right? With the Blasting Wand, I would say you can barely do it. Before Blasting Wand, you should really never do Drake. Unless it's completely free and you just killed everyone. After Blasting Wand, you can look to do it, but I don't know, this is very forced, of course. This can easily go sideways. And you even get the Drake stolen from you, so... It's definitely not good. I don't know why you're not fighting here. You have W up, you have E up. Could have easily killed the Thresh. Like, I mean, your Twitch did it on his own, but you didn't even help. 100%. Your reaction here needs to be... Okay, you have it in 2 seconds, but after the Twitch gets hooked, your reaction needs to be placing a W here. And then just Eing on the Thresh. Killing right away, you can probably follow up on the Kai'Sa, and then it just turns out pretty good, even though you lost the Drake. And Jenna is also, like... She just tanked, right? You need to think about the fact that this Kai'Sa doesn't have W, she doesn't have Q, so most of her damage is just gone at this point. So just really abuse that. Think about the abilities that are being used. Okay, you proc the W, doesn't really help you that much. Yeah, definitely too passive here. Could have easily played with the Twitch. Yeah, also really need to be careful, do you die here? Oh. Well... Okay, but we had info on the Jarvan, didn't we? You think he used the plant? So as soon as that happens, you need to react. Do you have a ward up here? I think this is exactly why you shouldn't get the sweeper this early, usually. This is another thing I've started doing somewhat recently. Just don't get the sweeper until, like, let's say 10 to 50 minutes, depending on how... Like, the more ahead you are, the better it is to get sweeper, I would say. Since when you're a little bit behind, or you're even into a matchup like Jarvan where he can definitely fight you early. I mean, this guy hasn't even been base yet, so he can't really fight you that well, theoretically. Like, he actually should not be able to fight you this well. You have so much more gold spent here. But, generally, just having wards here so you could maybe leave one here would be so much better than having the sweeper. Because in the early game, you always know anyways where it's gonna be warded, right? Like, this is always gonna be warded when they're pushing, and so you don't really... gain anything by having a sweeper in the early game, usually. So yeah, I just start getting it when I'm more ahead and I want to take away vision from the enemies, basically. That's how you should think about it. Here, I mean, you have E up, you should just be able to dodge the EQ combo. Or do you have it up? I'm not sure. But again, I think we saw him using the plant, so that's when you just really need to react, as I said. Like, don't be... don't disrespect it. I mean, it's definitely a random invade from him. He didn't have any info. Or did he from here? No. But yeah, still, you should just be able to E and dodge the knockup and then you don't die. Or well, do you die? No, you live, I guess, but then you don't even need to flash. You die in the end, because wait, why did you stay here? So he, like... Yeah, this is like very, very questionable decision making. There's absolutely no reason. I really don't know what you're... I guess maybe you're waiting for the Twitch and trying to bait or something, but you should just be happy that you live there and not be greedy. And like even just take this. I think you probably get it because the Jarvan is probably going to be too scared to keep going. It's like just make the best out of a bad situation and at least try to get this camp. Or if he forces you away, then you just drop it and recall. But dying here is of course very bad. Okay, here's definitely where you need to just make the decision to go top, probably. Yeah, for sure. Like, don't start your jungle. I guess you're not level 6, which is a little bit sad, but you won't be level 6 after red buff either. So I think at this point, just go top right away. This guy's definitely in lethal range with Warwick ult, so 100% if you start this is a mistake. Yeah. Not a massive one, you might still get him, but yeah, so like now he wards. Imagine if you just had went there. That's exactly the kind of timings you're just missing if you don't look at the lanes actively enough. I can imagine that maybe in-game you're just not looking there enough. Because I can't imagine that you look there and then make the decision to not go there. And that's something I would say is a big weakness of most players in your elo. Okay. You're just, at the moment, you're just struggling to really find an impact. With Ekko, you can easily get, like, up to 3 kills, I would say, on average, before 10 minutes. What elo is this? Let me actually see. I think gold or something. Oh no, platinum, actually, never mind. See, like, yeah, so in platinum, I think that's a big thing, honestly. Where people just don't look at lane stuff, so they're just missing info. Okay, so you got spotted here. You're level 6, you should just get them here. Get this guy. Yeah, so you get really nice free kills handed to you here. I guess you don't get anything from the Kai'Sa, sadly. I think that's a mistake from your team. I think good players would have definitely given you an assist here for the Treasure Hunter and the Dark Seal stacks, but yeah. Lower elo players don't think about this kind of stuff. This is a situation where you could probably even dive this guy again. Because he's so alone here, and he's full squishy build. Wow, what is he going for? Trevelias, I guess? Yeah. So he's very squishy here, you could have probably just dove him again. Even though it's warded here, but he was just not respecting, right? Okay. I don't think, yeah, you can't quite buy Rocket Ball yet. I think it's 2,150 if you have Blasting one, so... I think at this point you should still either look to have an impact now or just base. I guess you can look to def mid here. It's probably the correct play, since Yon won't be able to. Yeah. I guess that's what you're doing. Okay. Yeah, nice. Well played. Unlucky that Jaina got the kill, definitely very unfortunate. But it was a really good Q by her, and good follow up by you. Still behind in gold on the Jarvan, but it's whatever, right? He's an early game champ, you will outscale him for sure, and as long as you don't fall behind too far, it's not a problem if he's a little bit ahead in the early. Usually these kind of matchups go in a way where they might be building up a shutdown, and then you collect it once and the matchup just turns in your favor as Ekko. Like, especially Nocturne, for example, is a big champ where it's like that. Okay, let's see what you do here, because you definitely need to realize that I don't think you can do anything to this guy. Not with this much gold in your pocket. And even without, I mean, yeah, he's quite squishy with this build, but he's also not that squishy, actually, even though he has this build. I also played against the Yorick like this recently. Or at least with Eclipse, he's not that squishy anymore because he gets the shield. Yeah, just collecting the wave here I think is the right play, and now you can also get the Rocket Bell. That 12 minutes, definitely solid. I mean, you didn't get a lot of kills here, so this game is still going completely fine. And yeah, that's exactly right, you have same gold score, so it's quite literally going fine. I don't know if I will do a Q with you, you can see. And you also play jungle now. Okay. Let's see, you can definitely, I mean, you can look to just do something in mid here. You definitely need to. Yeah, I think, let's see how easy it was to predict this build up, I guess. And see if it was a mistake to decide going for a crab or if you should have just went there. Okay, I mean, you can see, right? You can see your Janna is moving in, your Yon is moving in. So if you look here, then as soon as you see the fresh step out of the brush, which he probably will be doing in a second here, now you should be moving here, right? You should definitely skip the crab now. So again, I assume you just probably weren't looking at the minimap quickly enough. So you just, right, you're just not having the correct info to make the correct decision. Top also, I mean, it's impossible to gank a lane that's permanently full HP. So, and we saw the Warwick, he was like 1 in 10 in the end. So yeah, definitely, he was a big problem, I'm sure. But for sure, here, if you're just here earlier, you definitely get something. Your team still managed. Okay, you still get the kill on the Thresh, I guess. So, yeah, not a big mistake. Your team could handle it even without you. Yeah, good that you go for the invade here. I guess, should you have looked to punish Kai'Sa? I'm not sure. Like how... Yeah, I think I personally would have ran here instead of doing Crux. If she's under the tower here, she's dead, right? You have the Rocket Belt, you need to realize that any ADC is dead, even an ADC that's as broken as Kai'Sa. Damn, what a farm or CS diff on bot lane. Holy shit. He has the kills though. But see, like, this is why CSing matters. if you look at these stats, and like actually this is just positive for Kai'Sa because she doesn't have a shutdown, but the Twitch has a shutdown. So even though the Twitch is only worth like 300 more gold, or like has 300 more gold in his pocket, he's also worth 300 more. So as soon as he dies, it will just flip. Right, it will just turn the favor. So that's actually kind of a negative thing. If he was more farmed up, at least he would be much stronger. This is why it's super important. Yeah, like, I don't know, you might have not watched my itemization video, but definitely don't build the Sheen. Like, Sheen is the worst thing you can build. Because look what it gives you. 0 stats for 700 gold. Literally 0 stats, only 81 physical damage. The reason physical damage is bad because you have some amount of like magic pen in your kit. Okay, I guess you actually have like lethality as well with sudden impact, but like if you have swords, for example, you only have magic pen, so like physical damage is just worse for you, basically. And that's why just Sheen is definitely the worst item. I don't know how much gold you had here, but yeah, you bought an Amp Tome as well, so you definitely could have bought Aether Wisp. Could you have bought? I think you even could have bought Aether Wisp and then an Amp Tome. So yeah, like this is definitely a very bad buy, and you know, maybe it makes a difference. We'll see. Maybe you should be stronger at a certain situation. Okay, that's not bad. Nice, might be able to get him. Big, like this is really good. I mean, the fact that you even looked for that, and then you also played it pretty well. So now you're definitely in a position to carry, even though you have this Warwick here. You also have a Twitch that's pretty fat, so you should just be looking to play with him. Just wanna see. I think it's actually pretty good that you also kited away from them here. I mean, if they were not idiots, they would just run away instead of staying here. Like, I don't know what they're doing. They just want to die. If they're smart, they just run away. So then you would have had to stay on them, but yeah, I guess people just don't respect Ekko's abilities, even higher elos, honestly. And I think here, if here you just need to do the EQ combo and you catch him as well. Yeah, big mistake. Or like, yeah, definitely a mistake. I mean, he should not have lived here. You just need to be confident and do the EQ combo. You had it up. Because he's 100% in range here, right? Like, if you just EQ on him now here, he doesn't even have the E up. You just burst him right away, he never gets out. And then now you're just missing the Q slow, basically, in this situation. How much gold do you have here? Wait, where are you basing? You have 1000 gold. I mean, no, I think you definitely should have forced Herald here. You just managed to get a slight lead, right? You got the kill on the Yorick, so now you have a good time. Why are you so scared? What are you so scared of? This is like the thing. I don't know. If maybe I can just predict that maybe you didn't press tab enough this game and just didn't realize that the Twitch was so incredibly strong and you're so strong, and even Yon is really doing quite well. Right, only the Warwick is bad, but all the good players in the team are around here, so this is just your objective to take right now. And like the Thresh, if he wants to walk up, he will just instantly die with this build. So yeah, big mistake here. Not like these are the kind of advantages you just would have had to push to close out this game, I guess. Yeah, big mistake, and then even like wait, did you even kill the Dwarven? What happened? What happened to the Dwarven? He just tried to test the Yon or what? Yeah. So, and now you're also not there. Imagine if you're just still around there. You 100% could have made the difference in that fight. How did you lose this game? It was looking so good. I mean, definitely a little bit of your fault for sure, right? Right now you're not really having an impact that's bringing you closer to winning this game. When you could have easily had one, right? You could have easily had an impact by just staying at Herald. And your gold, your recall was also really bad, actually. Like, you didn't even get the AP. You should... Another thing that I also said in my itemization video, like, don't buy the boots too early. Buy them after... Like, only buy them if you can't buy anything better, and AP is better, generally. Of course, it's a little bit unfortunate you're also filling up this slot with a Sheen anyways, but you still had item slots to just buy AP. So yeah, not a great buy. I mean, it's okay, they're not building that much MR, but yeah, it's still... And this is a game where, for example, I think if you're ahead in this game, it might even not be bad to build mercs. They don't have that much CC, but it's CC that you easily die to if you get hit by it. Okay, so now you do the Herald, but at this point, since, like, now you had to trade Drake for it, right? Before it was just free. It was free with a potential of just winning a team fight as well. Right, like, winning the team fight at Herald, because enemies were pretty ready to fight there, it would have just won you the game, probably. Right then and there, because you were in a, you just need to press tab and realize that you're in a really good position if your Twitch has like a 500 gold shutdown and you have a 300 gold shutdown. But at this point you're still 4k gold ahead, you're personally doing really well, so the game's in your hands, which is of course always a positive thing. Okay. Why are you clearing the ward? Now, like, these are the kind of decisions you really... I don't know, maybe you have the wrong mindset as Ekko, but like, I don't think you do with how you played so far, but this is just a wrong decision. You're really not someone that should be clearing wards. Especially not with Lich Bane build. You could have easily done something here, I'm pretty sure. Like, either just keep running up here and then try to flank them under the tower, or just run through here. You have blue smite, right, this game? So yeah, like, you can easily catch up. Just run through here, you just kill them. I don't know why you're... Again, like, another thing, like, imagine you just kill these two guys here, you probably could have done that. You probably get the tower and the whole game is looking much better. Now what actually happened is you just didn't get anything done and you lose mid towers for it. And again, you just need to be with your team here. You can easily dive them. You really did not understand how strong you were this game. That's why you weren't able to close it out. And Kai'Sa just gets 2 towers for it. That's like such a negative play. You didn't even get the 1 tower on bot. And your team is still fighting here and you're nowhere around. Like, this game is actually... Right now in the last, like, let's say 5 minutes, you really had made a lot of bad decisions with where you were on the map. Yeah, you just had to be with your team. And they actually managed to do stuff without you, but if you're just there, everything just happens faster and you'll have better resets and this kind of stuff. And you also enable yourself even more, right? Like, right now you're just slowing down your gold generation a bit. Even though you have these stats, you have a 500 gold shutdown, you're only up 1k on the Jarvan when you could probably be up like 2.5, 3k maybe even. Like, Ekko just becomes such an unfair champ if you're this fat that you just really need to play like it. But at this point, you're not even that ahead, right? Okay, you have some unspent gold, but you have 2 items, the Jarvan also has 2 items. You have boots, so it's... You just really didn't capitalize on the fact that you were so strong the whole time. And see, like, now you have a 700 gold shutdown that you're gonna give at some point, and then... Game's just very, very difficult, because you didn't get enough done on the map. And that's something I've also realized myself is a weakness of mine. Just not taking objectives enough. It's really important, especially just taking towers, not just neutral objectives. Because towers just force people to go there, right? Like, if the first tower dies, then the minions will always walk closer, like, they will always walk to the tower. So it just means people need to stay further back on the map, so they just have less room to move. Okay, let's see what happens here. No, I should be placing a W somewhere here. This is too deep. Like, you're just not gonna go there. I mean, it's fine. Like, I don't... Do you even need to do the rocket belt here? Do you need to use it? This W was just too deep as well, though. And for sure, just place it here. You should be expecting them to keep moving here. I don't know. Why would you expect them to turn around? I mean, okay, if you jump into their face now, they might move in here. But also, this W is actually just... Like, almost half of it is just terrain where you can't even walk. So it could just generally be placed much better, but it should be placed here in my opinion. Okay. And then you're already... Okay, you're not quite in range because she ults. But yeah, in these situations where you get a free kill, you also should not rocket belt for it. It's a 45-second cooldown. And there's often, especially in these kind of fights, where they might still go on afterwards. Missing the rocket belt can really lead to missing out on kills oftentimes. I don't know, like, when you're doing this, why are you wasting time? And make the proactive play here, right? This is like a big, I haven't really watched it, but there was on YouTube, right? Like Aguirre and Dante's, this kind of discussion where they talk about active and reactive jungling, or like proactive and reactive jungling. Like, be the proactive jungler here, just throw in a W here. What are you waiting for? You're waiting for the Jarvan to EQ you so you can dodge with your E, or like why, you know? You're 2 levels up, you're the one that needs to be knocking on the door, right? You're the one that needs to be putting the W here and just EQ in there and try to one-shot him if he is too slow to react. This is just wrong playstyle. See, and like, okay, fine, you waited in here and it kind of worked, I guess. But at the same time, you could have also just done the same thing 20 seconds ago and maybe just picked someone off, and now actually nobody died even. Oh, well, the Thresh did die, never mind. But still, right? Just be the reactive jungler. Don't be the proactive one, not the reactive one. As Ekko, that's for sure the thing you need to be doing. Also have really good farm in this game. Like, you should definitely be able to close out this game. And here you can definitely feel, right? You don't have the mercs, you're CC'd for a long time. If this Thresh had hands, or... Ah, never mind, Thresh is... No, never mind. Yeah, if this Thresh is not an idiot, he just hooks you there. I don't know what he was doing. Maybe he didn't have an hook up. Yeah, I don't know. This guy's just AFK. You should be dead here, by the way. You should actually be dead here. I really don't know how this Thresh didn't see that the Lux had a binding on you. And then not having the mercs is definitely mistaking you. Like, at the point where you bought them, you shouldn't have bought them, and that's exactly why you shouldn't have bought them. So you could have made the decision after getting fat that you should probably buy mercs here. Just so this kind of stuff doesn't kill you. Like, if this guy, he has long, like, he still has time. Like, even after, now he could still hook you, he's just super slow. And then if the Kai'Sa follows up or whatever, you're just dead. And then the game is really rough. Like, these last two spells you used had 0 value. I don't know why you used them like this. Definitely a mistake. Like, don't use your E. Okay, I guess the E you used because you were, like, scared of Thresh or something. But still, it provided no value. Like, next time just E on this guy and KS him. Like, I don't know, you're just Eing away because you're scared, and then you Rocket Belt as well, which is like a big defensive cooldown, and you just use it for the damage. And absolutely nothing else. So if you use Rocket Belt only for damage, unless you're getting a last hit, the usage was bad. Why are you flashing? Like, nah, you're in range. You're in range. You don't need to flash. Your E auto attacks 100% range, and at this point, it's just really bad, right? With a 700 gold shutdown, wasting flash like this is gonna make it so much more likely to die, and I guess that's exactly what happens at some point, right? But you're in E range here, 100%. Like, this is so close. I don't know why you flash in his face. And then especially also because it's just for the supporter. So even if you wouldn't have gotten him, like, you should not flash here in this position. Definitely not. I'm sure this is actually something that leads to you losing the game. Yeah, well, not quite, I guess. What actually... Like, you shouldn't have recalled so greedily here. Why are you recalling here? On the ward, did you know, like, I think they get vision after the ward gets cleared. Let's see, really quick, I'm actually not sure. I'm pretty sure when the ward, like, when the last hit happens, they get some vision. Wait, I'm stupid. I think they do, though. Well, I mean, they even started seeing you recall, so you should just never go through with it in this situation. Wait, I'm so stupid. I don't know why... Yeah, I guess they... See, yeah, they actually still had vision, though. Ah, that's why. So, yeah, definitely be aware of that. Maybe you didn't know that, but if the wards gets cleared, there's still, like, this 1-2 seconds where they can see you. But in general, you should just never be recalling here. This is so greedy. In your position, again, I don't know if you didn't know that you had a 700 gold shotgun or whatever, but there's just absolutely no reason. I know you wanted to be base here because of this guy, but still just go, like, behind this wall or something. Don't recall where they just saw you recall. It was still close though, of course, but definitely a super impactful depth, of course, for the outcome of the game. Still, of course, super winnable at this point, but they did kind of... Like, now it's pretty much even again. Again, like, your Rocket Bolt usage definitely needs to improve. Like, this is... I don't think a single Rocket Bolt usage has gotten you any real value yet. I mean, at least go on the Thresh then, right? If you... I mean, it's fine if you want to be there, but you shouldn't really be looking... Sadly, we can't press tab anymore because it's bugged, but I guess Thresh is actually kind of squishy here, so you can even engage him like that, but probably into 3 people you should never be looking to just engage full HP targets. And again, you're just not with your team when they're fighting. I know it's like in low elo sometimes you might be thinking you make the right decision here, and maybe that's true. But see, like now, if you're looking here, you need to see that the Kai'Sa is fighting, so that's where you instantly need to turn around. I guess you're just really not looking. That's definitely something I can already tell, even though we don't have your camera movement and stuff, I can tell that's a problem. Just because you're not moving to the place. And like now you're even doing this. Were you like mad at your team or something? You 100% should have moved here. And your team even manages to do it without you. And still you somehow lost the game. Now you're like, this guy's just split pushing. It's definitely scary, the lethality Yorick. He does die for it though. I assume Drake should be coming up soon as well. Again, the rocket belt just got you in range. You need to start using it, or you don't need to, but I just really recommend, I guess, to start using it in ways where you use the auto attack cancel so you can just do quicker combos. At this point, you can just glide through this guy. It doesn't really matter, you still last him like this, but if he has like flash or whatever, he has a much harder time reacting. Did he have no info on the driver? I guess so, probably not. No, no info on him. So, if you had info, you should definitely keep going on him. You're just much stronger than him at this point. We can't see the items, but we can see that you're 2 levels up on him. Definitely sucks a little bit that we can't see the items. I saw that you went for Shadow Flame this game. I don't know what you're doing. See, like, you're just making the wrong decision because you're staying in Kai'Sa's range, but you're also not attacking her. Like, either hard commit or just run away right away, but don't do like this half stuff where you're kind of staying in her range. See, like, now you're just turning around and just letting her proc passive. It was just a little bit of a mistake. Like, in general, I don't know, you should not be going over here blindly. It's definitely risky. It's not fully blindly, I guess, but still. Again, you're not the one that should be clearing wards. It seems to be a problem. I don't know if you were like a support man or something before, but it's definitely not something you should have the habit of doing as Ekko. Your time is just more valuable than clearing wards. That's really how you need to think about it. Clearing wards is a supporter's job. Of course, if you can clear ward in like driving by or whatever, fine. But in situations like these, don't E over the wall to clear a ward. Let's say that, right? Especially not against champs like, let's say, Lux or whatever that could just lock you up, or Thresh. Yeah, this game, a big thing I'm noticing is just that you have a hard time being in the team fights with your team. Or you just decide to not... I don't know why you're not fighting this guy, like, you'll get E up in a second, just kill him. I don't know if he has a shotgun or something, but 100% you can keep going there. Don't need to be so scared. Yeah, yes, like, stay out of her range, of course, so she can't just kill you. I think just ulting here was a mistake. Because she already used everything, and you were still at like half HP. Like, she procced her passive. After that, her damage is just quite low, actually, like her burst. And you still have 1000 HP here. Yes, you missed your Q, so it's a little bit scary, but just stay on her, proc your passive, and she will die. And then you still have your ult if it gets, like, close. Right, but like this, you just let her live. And even after ulting back, you can still keep going. You still have movement speed. Well, you don't, but you have E up in 2 seconds, and in that time she won't be able to get away. She doesn't have E. I mean, she can always flash, I guess, but you don't really know that. So at least you will force a flash. And maybe she's cocky anyways, and then she fights you and dies. Also something that probably happens a lot. Oh, okay, she actually stays here somewhere. Interesting that you went for that. Did you have any info? Definitely an interesting read. You had like no info on her. Why did you go for that? Your team wants you to the Drake. I mean, I understand them. This is such a gamble play, honestly, but it worked out, I guess. Sometimes that's something I've realized. It's like unexpectedness has value. Like, I think it has definitely more value in high elo because people know what to expect, and like in your elo, people don't really know what to expect oftentimes, or at least not to the same extent. But unexpectedness, like, it can make a difference. It can win you games, of course. Just make sure that the unexpectedness doesn't outweigh, like, smart playing, I guess. But sometimes going for a place where it's like you should have maybe had already taken a base or whatever, and you just kept forcing, it can definitely just close out games, and you can win. And like, all you have to do really bring for that is being better mechanically, I would say. It's like, mechanics can really... That's why mechanics are the best thing for climbing, I guess. You can really, how do you say, counter out a lot of weaknesses. I guess the Twitch went AFK, or why did you lose this game? What's up with this guy? No, he's level 13. I don't know why. You're level 17. Man, you're so strong this game. Like, I don't know if you watch my videos, but I don't think you've ever seen me engage on someone like this. You really shouldn't. Like, you use your flash like it's not a big cooldown here, but like, just be more patient. Place your W somewhere, keep running at them, and then like, you will catch up to someone. Like, why are you flashing to kill this guy right now? You will probably get him later as well. Right? Yeah, exactly the word I was looking for is compensate. So like, now again, you just won't have flash for an important target. Or you want a flash to live somewhere. Did the Yorick just end or something on split push? Definitely need to be aware of that, right? Yeah, like, you should not be the one deafing as a jungler here. Maybe your team was just stupid and they didn't want to def or something, but, you know, I guess Yon died. Okay. This is definitely a little bit difficult. Yeah, it's an annoying game to carry, for sure. Like, these are the kind of games I struggle carrying sometimes as well. Yeah, this is like Platinum 4 elo. But again, you cannot be bot side as a jungler after 20 minutes, and like, this is 30 minutes, so you can't be bot side 20 times more even. Here, I think you could have just done, like, I mean, it was close, but with the rocket ball combo, I think you kill him. That was just missing. Did you smite as well? Let's see. Yeah, so just missing the rocket belt and also smite, I think that would have killed. Now the way you use your rocket belt, it just never allows you to do combos. So that's why you're just having a hard time proccing your passive right away. And that's why you're just too slow. See, like this, you're not proccing your passive right away, and then you won't have movement speed, so you just get hit by stuff. You just really need to get into the habit of at least doing the EQ combo, and then if you get comfortable with it, just do the EQ rocket ball combo. Yeah, I mean, you had good stats this game, but I think you definitely made a lot of mistakes that actually led to losing the game. And I used to be in this kind of position for a long time, I'm gonna be honest, like, where I had good stats and I felt like I should have won these games, but I actually didn't realize that I had a lot of impact on losing the game. And that's actually the case here, I would say. Even though you had very good stats, you had the most damage. There were just so many situations in the early to mid game where you should have been with your team and just forced more and gotten more stuff done, where you just chose to jungle. And I guess that's a skill of jungling, right? Finding the balance between that. So it's for sure something that you'll have to improve. And then I guess just in general, looking more at fights, looking more at the minimap. These are just things that you really need to work on, especially in your elo, I would say. Farming and whatever you did pretty well. At least up until some point, you had very good farm. Yeah, like, even in the end, it's completely fine. This is not problematic farm or anything. Yeah, I also saw you bought Shadow Flame. Let's see. Should you have bought Shadow Flame? I guess it's not a mistake. Yeah, they don't really build any MR, only Jordan. So you don't really need the Void Step. I personally just prefer Nashor's, honestly. I think Nashor's probably would have helped you here as well. It's very good against these kind of champs. It's a much better last item in my opinion. But yeah, I think you could have easily carried this game. You were in such a strong position. Even up until the end, you're still the highest level here, right? You never really dropped off. You just didn't have the game-winning impact. That's really the problem. But yeah, like, these kind of games, of course, you could have made the difference, but it was not an easy game to carry without a top laner, basically. You were never really that ahead, to be fair. Like, overall, even though your stats were really good, overall your team was never really that ahead. But yeah, I think big problem this game was just that you weren't playing with your team enough. I don't know if it was like an ego thing or they flamed you or something and you didn't want to play with them, but definitely should have made the difference at a lot of objectives fights, especially. So yeah, I hope this helped you, and yeah, if you have any questions, of course, you can always ask me on Discord. And yeah, let me know what you think. Bye.